good appropriate time of the day to you, friends and enemies. I am Richard, and this whole thing around us, why that's LMTDTMFFR, or say it with me now. Limited time offer, no vowels. And how are you doing since I last saw you? Many days ago, obviously. Yes, I am doing fine, and here we are, back with another demo for today's demo day. Yes, and we are looking at the Beekeepers Picnic, which I'm not entirely certain. It's a point-and-clicky game. I'm not entirely certain what its genre of the story is. I mean, the Beekeepers Picnic is obviously to do, well, not obviously, but it's to do with Sherlock Holmes, a certain consulting detective who retired and became a beekeeper. You're going to be saying you failed to keep bees. Yes, you are. I'm going to lose all of the bees. But yeah, it says this is a game where a beekeeper is trying to arrange a nice picnic for his friend and keeps failing to do so because of the mysteries that turn up. So I don't know if this is going to be a picnicking simulator which keeps getting interrupted, or if it's more to do with the mystery, or what's going on. But we will find out when we go over to it in just a second. But yeah, here we are. Let's go over there, and you're going to see a blank screen. Well, you're not going to see a blank screen. You're going to see my head. And this one, it has to be in full screen. That is just the way this demo runs. So I'm not sure. As you can see, he says, yeah, excellent, that's caught up. It's now for demo 0.2, so very rough around the edges. But yeah, there's the violin that he was always playing on. And look, there's the picnic with strawberries, I guess? I don't know. I'm not sure what's on that plate. I'm going to move my head in anticipation of, there being something right up there. I know there's talking up there. So we're going to zip. There we are, down at the bottom now. Oh. My head is slightly over the side. Well, I guess we'll deal with that. Never mind. So yeah, let us start a new game. Man. He said, this is not working out well. Give me just a second. As my mouse has decided it's time to be looked at, as you're not working quite as well. Oh no, it's not the mouse, it's the game. Wow. Whoever has first point. Allow me to adjust how much of this is. Wow, this is taking so much rolling to go across the screen multiple times. I should be able to do that in like one usually. My mouse sensitivity needs to be upped. Alright. Let's have a look. Start new game. Yes, please. London, 1903. Well, there's Holmes and Watson, I assume. Yes. Well, I was correct in my... Oh, there's a little bee up in the corner. Well, I was correct in my summation then. This is where the printing press created by the master counterfeiter Prescott was hidden. I don't recognise that from any of the canon Sherlock Holmes stories, at least. There must be 2,000 counterfeit notes here. If all of these had entered circulation, the Bank of England would have been severely undermined. Now we only have to wait and catch the bird returning to its nest. You think this man Prescott will return here? No, he was killed. It is his murderer I mean to catch, James Winter, alias Killer Evans, known to have shot 3 men in the States. Well, if our Wild West friend tries to live up to his nickname, I will be ready for him. I have my revolver. Your trusty Webley. No. Yes? I think so, yes. Good old Watson. Coming in from behind? Yep. I've already got a gun pointed at you. Don't try drawing a gun. Stay where you are, Mr. Evans, if you value your life. Oh, stay where you are, Mr. Evans, if you value your life. You have a gun trained on you, and Scotland Yard will be with us in a few moments. I would advise surrender. Well, well, I guess you have been one too many for me. Wait, I guess you have been one too many for me, Mr. Holmes. And accents. Saw through my game, I suppose, and played me for a sucker from the first. Well, sir, I had it to you. You have me beat, and... Watson! I mean, you cannot... I mean, I'm not going to say that you cannot outdraw somebody who has a gun pointed at you. I am going to say it's highly unlikely and very stupid to do so. But I guess if you're going to get executed anyway, maybe you go for it. But I don't know. Watson! You're not hurt, Watson. For God's sake, say that you are not hurt. I mean, there's clearly blood on his thigh. It's nothing, Holmes. It's merely a scratch. Examine for yourself. It's just a flesh wound in my thigh. You are right. It is quite superficial. Is Killer Evans? Yes. A clear case of self-defense on your part, dear fellow. Perhaps it is just as well that it should end this way. If he had killed you, I would not have let him get out of this room alive. Oh, now Holmes is sitting up on there with his legs all tucked in. Holmes, I do wish you'd stop that. Stop what, precisely? Ruminating over my injury. You said yourself that it is a flesh wound, quite superficial. I will be back on my feet again in no time. You must stop worrying. I was doing no such thing. I was considering an entirely different matter. I may not be the master of observation, but I have known you long enough to think otherwise, my dear fellow. Prescott St. Evans is from the adventure of 3 Garadebs. But they weren't... That was... I mean, they didn't have a forgery machine at that point. The point was to get the thing that was in Mr. Garadeb's place. He had it. It was in his room that he never left because he was a... I don't know. Maybe he was a homebody. Maybe he was agoraphobic. I don't know. But he lived in this room where the plates for the printing press were. Or was it? Or was it money that was in there that they needed to get out of there? I cannot recall which of the two things it was. But yeah. But that is certainly what was going on in the 3 Garadebs. That he was stuck in that room. He was self-confined to that room. And they tried to make him leave by saying, hey, if 3 people called Mr. Garadeb meet up, then you will win billions of dollars, or whatever it was that they would win. It was an inheritance, I believe. And they said, yeah, I like the name Garadeb, and I don't want people who are called Garadeb to not have my wealth. So yeah. Anyway, I may not be a master of observations, but I have known you long enough to think otherwise, my dear fellow. There must be some way for me to help Watson. Making a close observation of him will be a good place to start. Alright, do I have... Yes, now I have a cursor, okay. Painting. Oh, we're doing this kind of interface. Alright, okay. Examine painting. A print of Turner's The Great Fall of Reichenbach. It has been there since Watson and I moved here, but has taken on additional meaning in the course of our adventures. We could go back to Switzerland, you know, for a holiday. I imagine it is rather nice if one is not fleeing for one's life. That may be, however, I would prefer not to. it up. It's entirely too large to take down, and I'd rather like it where it is. Let's listen to it. Or converse. Not listen, and make use of. Converse. Death is a mingling of eternity with time, and the death of a good man. Eternity is seen looking through time, or so Van Gogh said. You horrify me sometimes, Holmes. I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to the painting. Make use of painting. I cannot use it in any meaningful way. I mean, you can observe it. That is meaningful. It is its use, after all. Aha! Morocco case. It's a small leather travelling case with a velvet lining. When I last looked inside, probably around 5 years ago, it has the hypodermic syringe and other accoutrements. You may wonder why I still keep it here at all. I find there is a certain satisfaction in knowing it is available, yet untouched. Perhaps one day we'll find some other use for the case. Holmes, are you? Perfectly fine, Doctor. Please continue with your book. What if I converse with it? I nearly lost my entire career to this vice. Even now I feel the fiend is only sleeping. Oh, my dear fellow, are you suffering? No, Watson, do not worry. The sleep is a deep one, and deeper each passing year. I am so very proud of you, Holmes. Thank you. Alright. We have a chemistry set. Well-used set of chemist equipment. Solutions to some of my most complex cases have been wrought here over Bunsen, burner, and beaker. Use. Not at the moment, please. I can quickly become absorbed in my chemistry, and I have other business which demands my attention. Alright, well, what about this beaker? A newly washed glass beaker. Make use of it. No, converse with it. Look, Watson, one of the beakers from my chemistry set. Yes, very nice. Make use of it? I should pick it up and find another object to use it with. Alright, pick up beaker. I don't want to carry around delicate glassware unless I have a specific purpose in mind. Oh, are you going to get a drink? From the gasogene? Plates. Books and files. Books and files. Ah, the Persian slipper. Yes, you can tell it from all of those pixels that are there, can't you? Examine the Persian slipper. A single silk embroidered slipper in the Oriental style. I lost its partner many years ago. Since then it has been used as a receptacle for tobacco. Talk to it. Hello, slipper. Or hello, slipper. Holmes, are you perhaps somewhat bored? Bored? No, why would you think that? Alright. An eclectic selection of books. Once Watson's novels and my own reference books were carefully delineated, but after many years of living together, they are hopelessly muddled. I am quite proud of our little library, Watson. Books do make a place feel like home, don't they? Alright. You going to say the same thing? Yes. And a photograph? Is that the woman? A memento of one of my earlier cases. Yes, it is a photograph, or cases, not cases. Cases. It is a photograph of the late opera singer Irene Norton, née Adler, the woman who was able to utterly evade my traps. I was always rather pleased that she did. Talk to it. Ah, Mrs. Norton. Wonder how she is faring these days. I'm no detective, Holmes, but when you call someone the late Mrs. Norton when you are examining the photograph, I tend to understand how someone is faring. Unless you meant the late Mrs. Adler, now Norton, as in she was late Miss Norton, but now is no longer her. I don't know, but I mean, I think I can guess if, you know, if she's the late Mrs. Norton. She and Godfrey have a villa in the south of France, last I heard. Received a Christmas card from them. He has the world convinced she is dead, of course. But I am certain you will not begrudge her that. There was no reason for her to be dead. Why is she dead? You fake your death when somebody of great power and importance is coming for you. But that is not the case. She settled that business when she married somebody else. So, alright. It would make me something of a hypocrite to do so. Alright. Oh, a jackknife. I don't know. It is my practice to keep my unread correspondence firmly secured to the mantelpiece with a jackknife. I find it an inefficient filing method, but not one generally advocated. I don't know what a jackknife is, specifically. I mean, obviously it's a knife. But for me, jackknife is a thing that happens to the trailers and giant vans, lorries, the trucking things. To jackknife is to turn swiftly and sharply and fall over or fall on your side so that it blocks the road. I have not heard jackknife before. Okay. If I take this knife, all of my letters would be liable to go astray. I'm going to answer them. Eventually. Alright, let's observe Watson. We put it off for as long as we could. My intimate companion and biographer, Dr. John H. Watson. Shall we see what we can observe about him? I should visit my brain attic afterwards to see what deductions can be made based on my findings. Alright, he's got his hands. His legs are at angles. Watson's leg. Alright, not his other leg, but this leg. Let's examine it. He was shot in the left thigh. The evidence is mostly gone. His blood-stained trousers have been burned. The bandages are not visible under his clothes. Why did you burn those trousers? Why didn't you wash them and give them to the poor? Oh well, I can tell from the way that he sits, it is still causing him some discomfort. Poor Watson. He has had quite enough gunshot wounds for one lifetime. Holmes, are you brooding again? I am touched that you are so affected. Deeply touched. But I hate to see you keep berating yourself. Alright. Can I converse with your leg? I prefer to speak to the gentleman it is attached to. Can I make use of it? The leg won't be of much use for a while yet, I fear. Can I pick it up? Oh! Holmes, please don't do that. It is still rather tender. 1,000 apologies. There's a book. What are you looking at? What kind of book is it? It's a yellowback novel entitled The Lady Detective Makes It Right. There's a picture of a young lady examining a footprint on the front, and an advertisement extolling the virtues of cocoa on the back. Can we converse about the book? Are you becoming familiar with your competition, Watson? It is a jolly good little story. You see, this young governess goes to work in a large country house. Then one night her employer is killed, seemingly by a toxin from an exotic plant he was cultivating. She decides to make an investigation of the matter. Who are the suspects? Well, personally, I suspect the butler who... Wait! If I keep telling you details, you will tell me who the culprit is before I have finished. Sorry, Holmes. You must read it yourself after I am finished with it. What about... Can I make use of the book? I am trying to read it, Holmes. Can I pick it up? You may read it when I am finished, Holmes. Watson's face. Yes, we can look at that. Look of concentration is occasionally interrupted by him wetting his lips and clearing his throat slightly. Oh, a fact has been added to your brain attic. I have just observed something important about Watson. Should enter my brain attic. order to see if I can make any deductions. I mean, we will do, once we have made use of his face. Pick it up. Holmes! I am feeling to see if you have a temperature. I do not have a temperature, Holmes. I have a superficial leg injury, that is all. Alright, what if I make use of Watson's face? Whatever can you mean me to do to this poor fellow? Well, let's converse with the face. You are quite certain you need nothing from me? I value your companionship, but beyond that, no special measures are needed. Alright. Book, leg, face. Is that it? Alright. Then let us look at the brain attic. Presumably this is inventory, with which we have nothing. Oh, I didn't look at the gasogene. Oh, I can't close it. Or maybe I can? Yes, just by clicking inside. Sorry, gasogene, I forgot to look at you. This is Dr. Watson's gasogene. It's quite a clever device. The lower chamber contains water. The upper contains tartaric acid and sodium bicarbonate. The two chemicals react, producing carbon dioxide and carbonating the water. For some reason, he prefers to drink his water fizzing with bubbles. There are usually some glasses here, but they're absent. I will have to improvise. I mean, yes. Okay, so he wants a drink, but he's not going to get up because of his leg. And there's the VR that he shoots into the wall. Victoria Regina. V. R. Yeah. Alright, what else have we got? Converse with the gasogene? As always felt, this gasogene is a very neat little device. It's a shame that I am not more partial to what it produces. You should try it, Holmes. Carbonated water is very healthful. It is good for dyspepsia. Alright, pick up the gasogene. I do not want to move it. It fits rather neatly in this corner. Make use of gasogene. I would need a glass or other suitable vessel to hold the liquid first. Alright, well let me see if I can just pick this up without... No, don't want to carry it around unless you have something in mind. Okay, so to the mind attic. Welcome, or brain attic. Sorry, I got it wrong. Welcome to my brain attic. I like to think of my mind as a space full of well-chosen materials, information which I can draw on in order to complete my work. Keep a record here of people who are significant to me, represented by portraits on the wall. This blackboard is very important. I use it to combine observations I have made in order to make deductions. Metaphorically, of course. Alright, so that is Watson. Mycroft, okay. My brother, Mycroft, he is my superior in observation and deduction, although he doesn't have the energy or ambition to be a detective. Instead, he uses his capacity for storing facts in the aid of government. Indeed, it could be said that occasionally he is the British government. Now, I have noticed there is a... It's raining outside, that's interesting. But I have noticed there is a model of the solar system up there, which is interesting given that Holmes did not know that the world revolves around the sun. Knowledge of the solar system. This is going to be... Damn and blast it! This is one of the things which is cluttering up my mind since I have met Watson. Right? I've been meaning to get rid of that. It clutters up the place. Exactly. Make use of it. No, it is useless. Entirely useless. There is no need for it to be here at all. It will be a crucial thing in the conclusion of this, right? No, there's no use. It'll only pop back here again. Try as I might, there's no removing it now it's here. Converse with it. Hope you realise you are taking up valuable space in a finely tuned machine. Okay. Oh, that's Sherlock himself. Oh, I can't do anything with Sherlock, though. Mycroft, converse. What steps would you take in this situation, Mycroft? A nonsense proposition. He would not place himself in this situation. Mycroft would tell me that I should consider the problem for myself rather than relying on him. That was generally his maxim when we were boys, at least. I thought this was going to be the hint system. But no, alright. Pick up Mycroft. Oh no, I couldn't take down the portrait of my brother dearest. Alright, here's the blackboard. Deductions. Facts you discover all appear in this box below. You can combine them to make deductions and further your investigation. Watson keeps clearing his throat. I have some important news to share with Watson when I know that he is quite comfortable. Really? Oh, are you retiring? I should examine Watson and the room for clues about how I might be able to help him to combine any facts I discover to make deductions. There's important news. Okay, well, I know Watson keeps clearing his throat. How can I help Watson? No? Alright, then I need to see the gasogene again? Watson, he should not be here by rights. This is a place of facts, of logic. He's a distracting factor, grit in a sensitive instrument. Yet I find I want him here, all the same. I'd prefer to talk to the genuine article. Yeah, okay. Make use of him. Don't keep his portrait here to be useful. Precisely. I wish it to remain here. Alright, I mean, I know what I want to do. Can I converse with the blackboard? Imagining a blackboard within my mind and sorting out information on it is acceptable to me. Imagining a blackboard within my mind and then holding a conversation with it is not. Alright, I mean, Watson keeps clearing his throat. Can I help Watson? Alright, well, I've only found one. Can I talk to Watson? Can I converse with him? No, I have not. I've just examined. Where are the glasses which usually reside by the gasogene? One of them was broken in your chemistry experiment last week. The rest are currently being cleaned. Have you ever considered getting a dog, Watson? Sometimes. I am fond of dogs. They require considerable care, however. Indeed, yet they are loyal beasts with excellent noses. You remember old Toby, kept by Mr. Sherman? We had a little more space, and I had thought Mrs. Hudson would allow it. I may have thought to buy him and have him with us. But now both man and dog are long dead. Ho hum, such is the way of things. I do love that Dodd. Have you written any stories lately? I've had some attempts at jotting down some historical fiction, but I'm struggling to find a home for them. I may make an attempt at writing up more of your cases. The Affair of the Dancing Men would be popular, don't you think? It certainly had a touch of the sensational about it. I will let you return to your book. I mean, do I now have an idea? No. I mean, I need a glass of... I mean, I know what... Yes, it's good for dyspepsia. It does the thing. I usually glasses here, but in the absent I will improvise. Can I... No? Plate. Did I... Ah, the remains of Watson's dinner. From the colour of the sauce and the sick smell, I think it once held a portion of his salad. Quite delightful curried lamb. Okay, so this might indicate why he wants a drink. It's not just because he is thirsty, it's because he has had something hot. Delicious dish which has quite sometimes even induced me to overindulge. However, it's quite spicy and salty. I have just observed something important. I should enter my brain attic later in order to make any deductions. We'll converse with the plate. No? I can't do anything with the plate. That's a shame. No, wait, I think not. I did. Plate. What did I... How did I bring up that thing? Alright, well, let's add them together. Use. Oh, not pick up, sorry, use. Yes. Watson has eaten curried lamb. Watson keeps clearing his throat. Watson has eaten the curry. And now he is clearing his throat often and licking his lips. I conclude that he is rather thirsty. Hardly my most illuminating deduction, I grant you. However, the mechanism remains the same when I am solving much more complex problems. I should find him something to drink. I could ring for Mrs. Hudson, but Watson would find it more charming if I were to find him something to drink myself. Watson is thirsty! I can tell that Watson is thirsty. You would appreciate it if I were to find him something to drink. Well, we'll pick up that. Ah, yes, I shall take the beaker. Oh, I mean, I don't know how you managed to do that over that distance. But I do know that you're getting banned. And then we'll go back to the game. I don't know, I mean, what's that? I'm going to go and stand over here. and then try using this at a distance. No, I walk over to it. Alright, but I didn't walk over to pick up there. Ooh! What a delightful picture! There! Now I have a beaker full of sparkling water. Alright, right, oh, I can right click to the inventory. A beaker of water. Can I look at it? No, I can just... a beaker of sparkling water. Here you go, Watson. Here you are, my dear fellow. You seem to be thirsty after your curried lamb. Apologies for the container. Mrs. Hudson seems to have purloined all our glasses. It is clean, I assure you. I mean, you told me where the glasses were, so I knew. So it's not as if I am giving you new information, but anyway. Thank you, Holmes. You are right. I am more thirsty than I realised. I will trust you to have avoided cross-contamination when it comes to your scientific equipment, and that is not an attempt to poison me. Well, I have done that for him at least. Perhaps I should stop delaying. There is something important I need to speak to him about. Alright, time to converse. Did you enjoy your curried lamb? That was the important news. Did you enjoy your curried lamb? Yes, very much. Mrs. Hudson may still have some available if you're hungry. You must eat, Holmes. The case is over. Again, I will say, We must discuss something important. Wait a moment. The thing I wish to say to Watson is quite significant. Am I ready to take this, Eps? No, I will reconsider. Did you want to say something? I'm not at the moment. Let me just... I will let you return to your book. Let me just look. I assume it's meant to move me on to the next bit. Unless, as this is only an alpha, 0.2, unless this is the end of it. I do not know. But we will find out. Maybe I am thinking too little of it. Wait a moment, I wish to say something that's quite... Am I ready to take this up? Yes, I am ready. Maybe this is where he says, I retire, and then there will be a time jump to when he is a beekeeper. I don't know. Watson, we must discuss something important. Earlier, you presumed that I was berating myself for allowing you to come to harm. While my thoughts have turned that way often ever since you were injured, it was not what I was thinking of in that moment. Rather, I was trying to decide how to share some important news with you. I have decided to retire. Retire? Yes, to sequester myself away on the farm of my dreams. I have a notion to take up beekeeping. Give up your detective work? Surely not. You are simply upset because I was hurt. In a week or two... No, I am quite certain. In fact, I have purchased a cottage and some land in Sussex several months ago. I do not crave the thrill of detection, as I once did. It is a task for a young man. I am no longer young. It is time to move on. But what am I to do? Whatever you like, Watson. I am not your keeper. You are not a bee. It is a rather large cottage. Holmes, you know that I would never tire of your company. A countryside retirement sounds idyllic, yet this is very sudden. I'm not certain I am ready for that kind of seclusion. I still have a few decades worth of perfectly respectable medical career ahead of me, and people here who rely on me. Not to mention, I suspect at this point you're married. Well, you can't be if all your stuff is mingling here. I mean, you had 2 wives. The first one died of scarlet fever, I believe. And the second one... I thought the second one... I'm not sure if the second one outlived you. I don't think there's a definitive conclusion to that. Not in the canon, at least. I'll have to think. Anyway, once I fail to supply the curious adventures which throw you and provide you with material for your sordid magazine stories, you lose interest in me? Is that it? Of course not. You know that is not true. Or perhaps you have set your sights on marrying the sensible and pretty matron who brings you flowers and writes you sweet nothings. If you propose, I am certain she will agree. She has not been subtle about her intentions. Holmes, you are being childish. Yes, I suppose that I am. Of course I will come with you if you need me. If you ask me to join you, I will. Oh? No, I cannot ask that of you. You are loyal and true to a fault, my dear, dear Watson, and I am certain that you would give up on your own passions to join me in mine. If you did, a seed of resentment would be sown which might drive us apart in the end. I could not endure that. It seems that we were drawn along different paths then. Yes. Strange, isn't it? Yes. Very strange. They were wonderful years, weren't they? I loved every moment. Watson, they were glorious. We were glorious. You won't vanish on me, will you, Holmes? You won't simply disappear without telling me you are going? I could not bear that. No, I have a little more sense these days to engage in those kind. I have a little more sense these days than to engage in those kind of theatrics. Should you need me, Watson, you will find me in Sussex, keeping bees and reading philosophy. You will always be very, very welcome. And now Sussex, 1920, 17 years later. Hey! Well done, Jabbage, who created this. I mean, you're going to say based on the stuff by Arthur Conan Doyle, right? Total music by Sandy Garnell. Ooh, there's a ship in the background. And maybe some rocks? Watson! Good afternoon, Holmes. Must apologise for turning up out of the blue like this. No, I should have written to you ahead of time. My ship came in this morning and I found myself unceremoniously deposited back in England. Couldn't face the hubbub of London. I really am dog-tired. And you do have a rather good track record of perking me up when I'm back from a war. So I thought... I hoped... If it is at all inconvenient, then you must tell me. I am certain I can find alternative accommodation. Watson, kindly stop talking nonsense. Come inside, get out of that uniform, and make yourself at home. You must stay for as long as you like, my dear Watson. Watson is by my side again. I must ensure that he is able to rest and recuperate. Find a way to tell him... well, many things. But how? Some grand gesture, perhaps? A picnic? On the cliff tops? He would like that. The perfect moment of peace and tranquillity after the bloodshed he has seen. All the lives he has saved. And not managed to save. However, I have a sense that I am currently not in a fully developed world. A mere demonstration, perhaps a full picnic, will not be possible at this time. Oh, you... I will content myself with attempting to fetch some honey from my hives. Alright, okay. Well, before we do that... Woo! Oh, look at this change. This is great. The heliocentric model of the solar system. Have given up on attempting to get rid of it. It seems I'm stuck with it. It turns out that astronomy is not without interest to me after all these later years. Oh, there's Toby. My faithful hound. Toby the Third. What do you mean his portrait is larger than Watson's? Well, I'm certain Watson would not object too much. Watson, Mycroft, Martha and Tilde. I don't know. Oh, Tilda. My young neighbour, Miss Tilda. She is the niece of one of my old clients. She has an all-consuming passion for the natural world. While I value her companionship, I worry sometimes that she does not have many friends her own age. On my arrival in Fulworth, I engaged Martha as my housekeeper. I had expected a dull old lady, not a hatch on the dear Mrs. Hudson who ran my household for so many years, and wished for her own retirement from me. Instead, I was delighted to find that Martha is quite the eccentric. She smokes a pipe, speaks like a sailor when inclined to do so, is therefore very capable of keeping me in line. Despite her being under my employ, I think of her as a friend. She helped me in some of my espionage work during the war. I greatly enjoyed sparring with her. Yes, indeed she did, in one of the stories. Damn. I can't recall the name of it. I believe it's a canon story, he said, thinking about it. It was certainly in the BBC Radio 4 adaptations, and I believe they were all canon, apart from the very last series. Or the last 2 series, wasn't it? Yeah. Or there was a last series and then a big, like, 2-parter sort of thing, where they were usually only 45 minutes each. I believe each part was an hour long. Clive Merrison was the actor who played Sherlock Holmes in that. Very well done. He was very good in that. And Watson was played by 2 different people. I can't remember the first one. I believe she was the husband of... was it the husband of Dame Judi Dench? The husband of somebody of a similar sort of standing, like that. Certainly. And the other one, and the second time, was after he had sadly passed on, was played by Manuel from Fawlty Towers, whose name temporarily escapes me. And apparently will continue to do so while I think of it. Never mind. Yes, in the BBC Radio 4 thing, it was Sherlock Holmes breaking up a spy ring, and his housekeeper from down in Sussex did spy work for him by being the housekeeper of the German spy ringmaster and getting into his employ, and then, being a housekeeper there. Anyway, despite her being under my employ, I think of her as a friend. She helped me in some of my espionage during the war. I greatly enjoy sparring with her. Yes, I read that, Martha. There is Watson. There he is, my Watson. He is supremely dear to me. He's entered my life when he did. That he entered my life when he did is proof enough of the goodness of Providence. Why, it is so much easier to say those sort of things here than when he is standing in front of me. He took his degree in medicine in 1878 before studying further to become a surgeon with the army, just as the Second Afghan War broke out. They led him inexorably to the fatal village of Mawand, and he nearly died there of a bullet wound, or else of the enteric fever which followed. Returning to London to convalesce and living on a pittance of an army pension, he required someone to share the cost of lodgings. A mutual friend introduced him to a self-destructive young fellow who was trying to make his name as a consulting detective. I dare say we saved one another in a way, and from that moment our lives were bound up together. Sometimes we were parted. An obligation of a married life called to him, or my vocation called to me. Thankfully, we always seemed to wind up thrown together again. In the war, I engaged in covert work, while he returned to his roots as an army doctor. It was only in that long silence that I wondered if I would never hear from him again. Yet England is at peace. He is with me again. I dare to hope that there will be no more partings. There's Mycroft. My elder brother Mycroft is 7 years my senior. Difference in age meant that we did not spend a great deal of time together as children. He was off at school while I was still learning the rudiments of walking and talking. I still think we recognized in each other a shared mentality. It was he who taught me the deduction games. Indeed, he remains the master at it. And for him it is just a game, while for me it was both art and science, a means to a livelihood. Mycroft remains the only one with whom I can discuss my thoughts at full luminance, without keeping hold of a shutter. Much of his life he held the British government's secrets in his head. However, now in retirement, he spends most of his time at the club he helped found, the Diogenes. I mean, he spent most of his time there anyway when he was holding British secrets in his head anyway. Yeah. If I need his help and advice, I'm able to telephone him. Don't know? They're people? Alright, and have we got any deductions? I would like to create a perfect picnic to allow Watson to rest and recuperate, and so that I can tell him, well, many things. That was a rather hard sound, but alright, there's our violin. My Stradivarius, purchased at pawnbrokers in Tottenham Court Road for 55 shillings. Man, that's a good one. Whoop. It is mine now. Oh, now I can't converse with it. I can just see my Stradivarius. Alright. Lamp? Always find this style of lamp slightly disquieting. I was almost killed by one once, but Watson can tell you the story better than I. Beekeeping suit. Protective hat and gloves I use for tending my bees. You've served me, well, many a year. Make use of beekeeping suit. Oh, I've put it on. Upon further reflection, I should wait to put these on until I am near the hives. I'll take them with me for now. Yes, indeed. I was going to say, there's a mouse hole. Very friendly and intelligent pair of mice live in there. Watson likes the jokes that he swears one of them plays the violin. Oh my god! Putting my hand in there will disturb the mice, but yes! Oh, that is good. That is good. Sorry. Yes, I will explain. Oh, one of them playing the violin in there. Boy, that is Basil, the great mouse detective, who lived at 221B Baker Street, and I cannot recall if he lived there because Sherlock lived there and was learning from him, or if it was just a coincidence and they were both there. The Disney character, Basil, the great mouse detective, and there was I think they was just Dr. Watson. I think that was just the name of the mouse as well. But yeah. And he was called Basil because he was named after Basil Rathbone, who had played Sherlock Holmes for more years than I can remember. More years than I can remember. More years than I can recall his span of. During the Second World War, he did a lot of like wartime films where Sherlock was defeating people and inevitably it was a Nazi spy ring or something else. And it wasn't only that, there were, things before and afterwards. Yeah, he did some afterwards as well. He did a lot of radio plays as well, which weren't against Nazis, not most of the time. And he and Watson, his core Watson, whose name I cannot recall now, Clive Bruce? Forget's name of the Watson. I think it might be that. Maybe I don't know where that name has come from, so maybe not. But yeah. And he was, and the stories were told as if Watson had retired to America because it was an American show, because it was America, and that's where Basil Rathbone and him lived. And yeah, he retired to America, and then he was telling his stories to someone. So it would start off by somebody coming to his house, and then he would say, "Oh, this reminds me of the case of blah 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 blah," and then they would go into like the reminiscent of it, and then at the end there would be another closing segment where he went, that, my boy, was the tale of the closing thing. That was great. They are of their time, and they are a delightful 20-25 minutes worth of radio play. It is great. And they were done live. They were broadcast live. It was amazing. And you can tell they were done live because there are some times when they mess up words and things, just like me. So it is a lot of fun. to listen to them if you like the Sherlock Holmes things, even if you don't particularly agree with the portrayal of Watson as a bumbling idiot as they did in those films. It was great. They were very good. Right. There's ER up there now, not just R. Okay. Maybe I could have looked at the bullet holes at the other place. I decided it was fitting to update the old Regal monogram for Baker Street. Of course, we have a new mark now. George the... Oh, that... However, a letter G does not lend itself well to a calligraphy by bullets. Okay, so yeah, that looks like an E. I mean, you can do a G. You just need another one or two there to make it look like it's going back in on itself. Or you could do a lowercase g. I guess you wouldn't do for the king. So yeah. Alright, door to kitchen, lamp. Is it the Reichenbach Falls still? A print of Turner's The Great Fall of Reichenbach's. Watson accuses me of morbidity for keeping it there. Well, it does a man no harm to look on his own death once in a while. Creepy dog statue. A Staffordshire pottery dog. Watson bought it for me from a village fete. I detest it. One day perhaps I could cause you to be accidentally smashed. I'm sure I could devise a method which Watson would not suspect. I mean, you could have done it while he was away at the war. What's this up here? Dried herbs and flowers. Various dried flowers and herbs. I was exploring possible uses of botanical pigments in medieval Northumbrian monasteries. Hey, it's the Morocco case. Keep little cloths in there for cleaning my spectacles. Honestly. Well then, let's open it. Refer it remains where it is. Can I make use of it? I don't need to clean my spectacles at the moment. That's good to know. I think, is that a knife? Still there? No. Maybe? No. There's a clock. Grandfather clock. Dr. Johnson once noted that time, with all its celerity, moves slowly to him whose whole employment is to watch its flight. One does not need to worry about time racing forwards with this particular clock. I removed the pendulum after finding the noise irritating. If you hear any ticking, it is coming from the clock on the opposite wall. Ah, the one that we can't see, over here somewhere. Is that a lead? I don't know. And here we have a gramophone. A device for playing sound recorded on a disc made of shellac. Although acoustically it is a Platonian shadow of true music, I must say that I enjoy putting on a record in the evenings and enjoying a concert in the comfort of my own home. What an amazing thing that must have been. You must understand, this device is for playing back sound, not recording it. I did once own an Edison phonograph, with some thoughts that I might record some memoirs of my childhood onto a wax disc. Alas, I am not the wordsmith and storyteller that Watson is. I'm afraid my tale was rather dull, and now my attic is brimming with wax cylinders. Ooh, wax. That's maybe important for beekeeping. Sadly, it isn't portable. Oh well. Make use of it. Let's have some music.
Be my little baby bumblebee. Buzz around, keep a
Oh, is this going to get me?
all the honey love to me.
Do make use of it, turn it off. No, okay, it's starting again. Stop dancing as you. I mean, it's probably out of copyright, but I don't know. Can I?
Bring home all the honey.
It's auto outside. Use it. Just go and use it. It's perfectly fine where it is. Use. Make use of. There we go. Just in case. Aha! Is that the ship? That's the ship floating away. Right, there's Watson. Let's look at him. Ah, Dr. John H. Watson, a stalwart biographer, intimate friend and erstwhile partner in the art of deduction. Leg. No, I can't look at his leg. Watson's hands. Clearly he has been writing this morning. He has ink stains on his hands. Also, I observed him doing it. Watson's moustache. No crumbs on his moustache. Toast, I believe. Watson's boots. He's wearing his sturdiest boots, the ones he usually reserves for muddy walks. Okay, so he's been on a walk. He's been writing. He ate toast. I think that just tells us what his day has been like. I'm not sure I could make any deductions from that. Toby the Third, noble hound, the finest canine in all England, with the best nose. Toby, third of that name. Gosh, I say that's a little rich. All true, of course. With the great Sherlock Holmes, except anything less in his loyal hound. Now there, my boy, would you like a cuddle? Not right now, Holmes. There might be a cat watching, and I'd never hear the end of it. Oh well, I suppose you never were a lapdog. I mean, you talk. Hello, master. You're a good boy. Woof woof. Well, naturally, I think you are a good human, master, especially when you give me bones. It's a pity that for all your intelligence, you can't understand me. Oh. Ah, Toby, if only you could speak. Oh, don't worry, master. You have that nice doctor fellow to talk to now. So you need not be lonely. I don't need conversations. I'm content with pats and belly rubs. That's enough talk for now, doggy. Woof. Very well, master. Honey extractor. An extractor designed to drain honey from a beehive frame. Can I take it? Can I not? Can I make use of it? Come now, be specific. What do you wish me to use the extractor with? Okay, can I pick it up then? This device is best used on the table. Okay, so do I need to pick up the hive? Okay. With the smoker, that is how you do it. A stainless steel cylinder attached to some bellows. Oh. They did just stop buzzing then, I don't know why. Hello, what is that? An empty jam jar. Empty, clean jam jar. I think I recognise it, one from my own kitchen. And there's Tilda. My young neighbour, Miss Tilda. She seems to be poised as if to cast her little fishing net into a pond. However, there is no pond. I can only conclude that in a full version of this game, she will be at another location more suited to her favourite pastime. Oh, what a lovely... I like it when demos do this sort of stuff. And they acknowledge that they are not the full game and there is a little lines about it. Miss Tilda, the niece of my old friend Miss Hunter. No, she's been somewhere. The stains on her dress are characteristic of the meadow to the north of my cottage. Alright. The dirt under her fingernail suggests she has been digging. There are no calluses of the kind I would associate with daily piano practice. Okay, so she doesn't. Tilda's hair. Hair is untidy and unbrushed. Alright, but we know she's north. If that ever becomes relevant in this demo. I assume not. Can I'll converse with you. You've been neglecting your piano practice. Someone who practices the piano daily develops a very distinctive musculature in their hands, which you do not have. I don't like playing this millennial piano. I want to study plants and animals when I grow up, not be a musician. I felt the same way as a boy. All the same, it is good to be able to play an instrument. I think it will be pleased if you persevere. What are you doing? I'm catching newts. Naturally. Do you know how I harvest honey? Would you like me to teach you how I harvest honey? Yes, please, Mr. Holmes. I want to be a beekeeper when I grow up. I thought you wanted to be a fisherman when you grow up. That was last week. Very well. I put on my protective hat and gloves. The bees are not generally aggressive, but I wish to avoid direct contact with them. Then I use a little smoker to make the bees calm. Only a little. I do not wish to distress them. Inside the hives there are wooden frames that hold the honeycombs, where the bees store their honey. When I see that a frame is full, I remove it from the hive, scrape away the protective wax which the bees have made, then I place the frame in my extractor. This spins the frame and causes the honey to fall away. I can then filter the honey and put it in jars or bottles, ready to be eaten. Yummy! May I have the jam jar? Sorry, Mr. Holmes, I need that jam jar. It's very, very important. When I catch a newt, I need to put it in there so I can take it home to the tank where it's going to live. I see. That is important. I do not want to deprive you of your newt. No, my newt. Why is that lizard so tiny? Because it's my newt. If I were to find you some kind of specimen of natural history, which is more interesting than a newt, would you surrender the jam jar to me? Better than a newt? That sounds very tricky, Mr. Holmes. I enjoy a challenge. You're on! Alright, so maybe I want Toby to chase a lizard or something out of there. Okay, here are bees. And the beehives are buzzing around in fine form. If I want to open a hive, I should subdue them first. Alright, I don't want to. Can I go off of here? I can't. Alright. Well, let's put on our protective gear. Let's smoke beehives. It's been known for time, out of mind, that bees are calmed by smoke. The precise mechanisms, matter of hot debate in apian circles. I'm of the opinion that bees communicate danger by releasing subtle smells to one another, which the smoke interrupts. I wrote a short monograph on the subject if you're interested. Again, lovely artwork. It only takes a light touch. I do not want them to be stressed. I refuse, I would disturb the bees. But I want... Do I need to look at it? Smoke is gone, do not worry, they are not harmed. Do I make use of it? There we go. There's a full tray of excess honey here. I will take it with me. Excellent. What about this one? I am planning a picnic for Watson. I know I am not ill as an easy man to be around, yet he has been by my side for many years. It's a small gestures, but I hope that will help him see my great regard for him. I'm certain that your honey will... Oh, I'm conversing with it. I'm certain your honey will make it a special occasion. Yes. So I meant to use. Shouldn't take any more honey at the moment. Alright, okay. I need that jam jar. Right, I want to... Well, let's look at that first of all. It's a protective layer of wax and underneath golden honey. Alright. Use full hive tray with honey extractor. Hey! We've scraped it off. Put it in there. But I do not have... Honey is now in the extractor, ready to be drained into a container. Take the empty tray with me. Okay. No honey, I can return it to the hive now. That is what I was going to do. I was thinking, it would be nice. Oh! Right. Yes. Put them on. Sorry. Sorry, Holmes, I almost got you stung by bees. I'll put this back in the hive. Indeed! There you are, my friends. Right, now... I mean, is Toby... Walk with me, Toby. Hello, Master. Follow me, Toby. Of course, Master. Would there be interesting things to smell? Cats to wolf at. There will be a girl to talk to. Goodbye, Stones. Can I have the jar? Please don't take that, Mr. Holmes. I needed to catch my newts. Of course, I understand. Yeah, but I've got to do a dog. That's enough talk for now, Toby. Very well, Master. I suspect you need to come with me still. Are you walking? Yeah, alright. Where are we going to find? Is there another place to go? No. You have got incredibly tall. You're almost as tall as the house if you go over there. Alright, maybe if we go inside? Oh, you do not come in, Toby. Alright. Okay. Oh. Can I make use of Toby? He's a useful pup in many ways. An excellent guard, good in a scrap with an excellent nose, but you must be more specific. I mean, converse with the mouse hole. Good day, my rodent lodgers. Can we go into the kitchen? We can. Alright, okay. Is Toby with me? There's a cat. Hodge. Hodge, who I think must begrudgingly considered to be my cat, or else I am her human. She's turned up one day and has not left me, at least. Alright, hello, Martha. An old housekeeper, Martha. Stalwart woman with an iron will. She always smokes that particular pipe when she is in a bad mood. Hands speak of decades of scrubbing and cleaning. I believe she was the scullery maid in her youth. Her hair grew very thin many years ago, and so now she crops it short and wears a wig. Oh. Martha, where are my lock-picking tools? And why do you need those? It is a simple hobby, you know. I have written various monographs about how lax some modern forms of lock are. How easily a still cracksman can break them. Is that meant to be skilled? Skilled cracksman? Top drawer of your dresser, Mr. Holmes. And should you be clapped in handcuffs and carried away, I wash my hands of the whole affair. How can I make a good picnic? Martha, I am planning a surprise picnic for Watson. What key components would you suggest are required? Surprise picnic, eh? This isn't secretly some scheme, is it? Scheme? You're not setting this up in order to capture a gang of counterfeiters or such like? No, I am setting this up in order to enjoy a picnic. Ah well, it was worth checking. I would have thought the location is very important. A quiet spot with a beautiful view, perhaps. You will need an ample of food, naturally. I recall from his previous visits that the doctor is quite partial to Mrs. Kimura's elderflower cordial. I imagine he would appreciate a bottle. However, Mr. Holmes, you know we are only in a demo, don't you? Well, naturally. The fact that I cannot leave the bee farm or go upstairs in my own house makes that abundantly clear. That's a shame. I was going to try and go upstairs in a second. Perhaps you'd better focus on something you can get here then. Perhaps some money, perhaps? Can you make a hamper of food for me? Certainly. When do you need it by? Lunchtime today. Mr. Holmes, I don't have time to drop everything, go to the shops, acquire the additional food, and make your picnic in time for lunch. Perhaps you can postpone your plan a few days. No, no, Mrs. Hunter, no. It is vital, it is paramount that Watson, that I will arrange the picnic hamper myself. Goodbye. Goodbye, sir. Keep out of mischief, won't you? We'll try to go upstairs. Well, I will now not use the Mrs. Martha's. No, I don't think I need to go upstairs for the moment. Clearly, in order to see how many bedrooms I have, you need to wait for a later version of the game. Wow, you're great. Can I converse with you, Hodge? Hodge? How are you today, Puss? Your studies of the local rodentia are proceeding well? You don't have anything to say. What if I make use of you? It may be fundamental law of the universe that a cat cannot be used. Oh, she is sleeping. Looks so peaceful. I don't wish to wake her. Besides, it would compromise her dignity. Well, Toby, I would like you bark. Such a good boy. Woof woof. No, you're not. Oh, I said I've talked now, doggy. Alright. Ah, there's a shovel. Oh, can I find some worms? I was using it recently to dig up the flower beds in front of the house. Mr. Holmes, would you please take that shovel out of my nice clean kitchens? I never knew a man so slovenly in his habits. You haven't seen my place. I mean, I'm not saying it is the worst ever, but, you know, I do tend to not to put things away all the time. May I take this, Martha? Need to exhume my body. Of course, Mr. Holmes, you don't belong in my nice clean kitchen in the first place. Did you say exhume my body? Goodbye, Martha. I mean, presumably, it's a dinosaur skeleton or some such. Ah, a painting. Print of The Shipwreck by Lord Joseph Vernet, who is my esteemed ancestor. It explores concepts of the sublime, the horrible, and powerful meeting the beautiful. Always found it to be profoundly moving. Hello, telephone. An old-fashioned model, but it serves me well enough for keeping in touch with the world beyond my hermitage. Could use it to phone my brother Mycroft should I require his assistance. Oh yeah, okay. I believe that one is generally expected to talk into the telephone, not at it. However, I think I understood your intentions. And Mycroft is the hint system. I just thought it was in your attic. Hello, operator, the Diogenes Club, London, if you please. Yes, I'll hold. Oh, man, the art in this. Very evocative. My dear Sherlock, how can I be of assistance? How are you, Mycroft? And how is London? I am well, and so is London. I find that retirement suits me. Are you keeping yourself occupied? Certainly. I breakfast, I read the newspapers from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock. From 10 until 1, I take in the view from my window. For 3 whole hours, Mycroft? You do not find that dull? To anyone who wishes to study mankind, that is the spot. I see the whole gamut of society through that window. Then I dine at the Ivy before heading to the Diogenes from 2:15 until 8:15. I see. A punishing schedule. And what are you doing with your dotage, little brother? I have taken up beekeeping. The bees occupy my interest as much as the criminal world of London ever did. Completed a magnum opus on the subject. Practical Handbook of Bee Culture, with some observations upon the segregation of the queen. A riveting read, no doubt. Goodbye, brother. Goodbye, Sherlock. Do call again. Alright, we are going out here and we're gonna try and find a bone. Oh, do I need to get you to sniff for bones, Toby? Or do I need to dig where you were? Because there's no particular place. Oh. Can I? I don't know how I would say, Toby, are you... No, you're not one of my things. I could play the violin. Ah, pop goes the weasel. Play it again, Miss Holmes, play it again. Another time, I don't want to frighten away your newts. Alright, what if I play it for Toby? Smells of not much. Ah. Smell the spade. Are we going digging? That's the idea. You shovel with something somewhere. I would like to head to make use of Toby. Yes, I would like to use to sniff Tilda and then find where she has been. Oh, the honey extractor. Look, it's leaking now. What if I can't... I mean, I could wake him up by playing the violin. That is probably... Watson, wake up! Yay! That was beautiful. I'll leave you to return to your nap. I mean, here's the flower bed, but I cannot dig up this flower bed. Use spade with cottage door. That would not be of any use. Use shovel. Sorry, not spade. Right, well... Is there anything in here I have missed? Okay, I make use of lamp, perhaps when it is dark. Alright, okay. Make use of those? I don't have any way to use them. I mean, I guess, no, I mean, you could get them smelled. But that's not the right way. Did I miss something in here? Is there a... No, I was going to say, is there a back door? Pixel hunting. Right, I'm gonna have to ask for help. Yes, alright, we get it, it's the Diogenes Club. No thank you. I don't need that every time, and that... How can I... I'd like to ask your advice. How can I help? I know how to do that. I have nothing to ask for. I'm trying to create the perfect picnic for Watson. I expect that ideally you would wish to gather a variety of delicious foods and drinks. You may be out of luck at this present moment, dear brother. Have you noticed that we... In a demo, yes, I cannot leave the farm. Well, it is a bee farm. I suppose you can collect some honey at least, as a token of your affection. Yes. I would like to attain an empty jam jar. My neighbour Miss Tilda has one, but she is hoping to use it to keep newts in. She will not give it to me, but only if she will give it to me. Sorry, but only if I'm able to trade her for something she finds more interesting than newts, not news. Knowing the girl as I do, that may prove to be difficult. I see. Well, I would expect that in the full version of this game, that would take a considerable amount of effort. Since it is merely a demo, perhaps you can find something in your living room that she would appreciate. Oh, okay. Alright, goodbye, brother. That is... I mean... Alright. Oh, it's the slipper still. Bullet holes, a lamp, the gramophone, grandfather clock, dried herbs and flowers. We need to fetch a ladder to reach them, and I have no reason to do so. I think they will be staying up there. All right, okay. Is it the mice? Is it a creepy dog statue? No, we're not really taking that abomination against good taste anywhere. I prefer it remains where it is. I mean, I could smoke the mice out in the mouse hole. That is, I'm not certain it works on mice as well as bees. No, I didn't think it would either. But you know, I'm not certain. But if one of them plays the violin. I was convinced I was going to use the shovel to go and dig up something, and I needed Toby to sniff out what it was. But maybe that's in the full version. I won't be able to see the mice clapping now. Well, I think they enjoyed the concert. Yeah, okay. Come on, Toby, move away from there so that I can see. Right. Mouse hole. Pixel hunting. The age-old thing. Fossilized remains of an extinct marine arthropod. I found it on the beach some years ago. A fine specimen. I'm not sure the Natural History Museum... A fine specimen? I'm sure that the Natural History Museum has no finer. How precisely do I use an extinct marine arthropod? By picking it up. Alright. Use the door. Or go and give it to you. Do I need to dig it? Do I need to find it in the ground? Hey, you, Toby. Smells of not much. Alright, okay. Well, then I'll just try and give it to you. I thought maybe you would find some more around here. I have a present for you, Miss Dora. For me? That's for me. It is the fossil of a trilobite, an extinct kind of sea creature. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. I love it. I love it so much. May I have the jam jar now? Oh, of course. Alright. Oh, the fact that he's doing that with his back as well. That's not great. Where was that? No, that's... Wait, why have I got the empty hive tray back? I put that away. Alright. Here's honey. It smells of not much. It smells of honey. Alright. Watson. Watson! Look at that. Holmes, I'm trying to sleep. Is it vital that you show me this? Not vital, perhaps, but... I thought that was going to be the end of the demo. No? What if I show you this? Hello, Watson. Yes? This is one of the frames for my beehives. The bees will make their honeycomb here. See, did you make the wooden frame yourself? No. I'm an old man. I think I deserve the slight luxury of having somebody else construct my beehive frames. Quite right. To my very exacting instructions, naturally. Naturally? Alright. Do you not... Did I... Watson? Look at that. Okay, I've got the honey. Do I need to do something else? You can tell me the steps. Do you remember how I harvested honey? First you wear your hand gloves, yes. Then you smoke the bees so they're calm, yes. You take the frame out of the hive, then you put the frame in the extractor, correct again. Then you pull the handle on the extractor to make it spin, and then you put the honey in the jam jar. I mean, that's exactly what I done. And I have somehow I gained an extra hive, an extra empty tray. Maybe I should use the honey with Sherlock Holmes. Put this back in the hive. There we go. Now, somehow I managed to shove it in twice now. Use honey with Sherlock Holmes. I don't want to eat it. It is for Watson. You must be more specific. I mean, I can't use it on Watson. I have this honey now. Unless I talk to Watson and say, hey, I have this honey. Watson, wake up. Move. How's your house and medical practice? Let's go through all of these. How's your house and medical practice in London? They've all been in mothballs and dust sheets since I left for France. To tell you the truth, Holmes, I have not been back there. Notice something about you, my dear fellow. Did you enjoy your breakfast of buttered toast? It was wonderful. Martha baked such delicious bread. I have crumbs in my moustache, don't I? One or two. I planned to go for a walk on the cliffs, but changed your mind because it's not muddy, even though you've got your boots on. Holmes, you never entirely convince me that you cannot read minds. There's no need to read minds when I can observe your boots. I had planned to go for a walk, but I remembered the guillemots are fledging this time of year. Nest precariously on the cliffs, hundreds of feet above the ocean swell. Tiny fledglings' first flight always involves a terrible leap off the edge. Most of the time they catch the knack of it before they hit the bottom. Most of the time. I didn't want to watch. I've seen too many young things die after being forced from the nest too soon. And what were you writing this morning? You remember that business with Killer Evans in 02? Rather vividly, yes. I recall you were shot. I thought it was 03. It was only a flesh wound, Holmes, hardly left a scar. I am writing up the case as a story for publication. I know you are often dismissive of my literary efforts. I did not say you are a poor writer, Watson. I simply wish you would not pander so much to popular tastes. Well, I would like to read you the draft this evening. Very well, provided you will accept my honest critique. Of course. have no further deductions concerning Watson at the moment. How are you feeling, Watson? Very well, thank you. The old war wound is not bothering you? No, I think this warm weather is good for it. What about you, Holmes? Your arthritis? Ah, pah, arthritis. Are you entirely sure I have arthritis? Yes, I am. I'm sorry, Holmes. I don't mean to act like a mother hen. You cannot help being a doctor, Watson. All right, I have a surprise for you. Let me think. Am I ready to spring my surprise on Watson? Yes, it's picnic time. Have a surprise for you. A surprise? Yes, one worth waking up for, I assure you. Follow me. What's all this then? It's a picnic, naturally. I see. Holmes? Yes, dear fellow? I can't help but notice that for a picnic there is a distinct lack of food and drink. Indeed, yes. I must ask for your forgiveness on that point. I was rather limited by the constraints of the machine. The machine? Yes, the machine. It is quite obvious to me that this world you and I inhabit is pure artifice, a mere sketch of a fuller work which the Creator hopes to complete one day. Oh, in one day? Wow, that's impressive. Haven't you noticed there is nothing to the left of my beehives? No upstairs to my house? That I have been led by an unseen guide to perform some quite strange actions. This unseen creator tried to design a trifling obstacle for me concerning my hives and collecting a jar of honey. I completed the trial, so here is your prize. Spring Sussex honey. Why, thank you, Holmes. You know that I enjoy having this on my toast at breakfast. I mean, I don't know if it is because I have Toby with me, but the weird placement of the people when they're trying to talk is meh. It has occurred to me that you may not realise that I may have made the grave oversight of not making my deep regard for you clear. Without you, Watson, I would have been long lost long ago even. If you are right, Holmes, and we are in some make-believe world, I am pleased that the person who created it showed that we would be here together in such a beautiful place. We can hardly exist apart, I think. Do you suppose the unseen hand that has been guiding your path has enjoyed spending time here with us? Perhaps. I imagine it was a small diversion, at least. You know, Holmes, with all this talk of picnics, I am rather hungry. Perhaps we could go to the pub for a meal. I don't think the pub exists, Watson. Unless the pub doesn't exist? Exactly. Oh, so much charm and heart in this. Oh no, dear Watson, I don't think you need to fear on that count. The game has come to a close, and so you and I are free to walk off into the wider world of the imagination. Where is a little thatch roof pub nearby, which will serve us quite excellent cottage pie. We can enjoy one another's company for all eternity. Come along. He said, and then Watson left and you didn't. Do visit us another time, won't you? You gonna do anything, Toby? No. Well, there we go. There we go. What a delightful, charming little game this has been. I'm gonna quit right now, and then I'm gonna come back. I'm going to immediately come back to that. Yes, I thought... I could not remember if Toby was there or not. But yes, all of these things here. Strawberries, probably. Thermos of something. But yeah, there we go. Alright, and the Beekeepers Picnic. I will quit again, and we'll go back over to the big screen of the demos. And go, whoop! Oh, wow. That was a very enjoyable demo. So much charm and heart in there. Okay, the puzzles weren't... I mean, I was thrown by having the shovel, but I know you build the thing for the stuff that is there. But, lovely. Amazing. I will thoroughly look forward to seeing this when it comes out in full. Yeah, it looks... amazing. As I say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Um, yeah, I don't know what I can critique about it at the end here. I'm certain there are things that I mentioned during the thing, but nothing which immediately springs to mind here. Maybe the interface was a little clunky, and oh, I kept I kept going for the hand to use rather than to pick up. I think that's probably because that's what most of the other point and click games use. I mean, there are a couple which I can think of now which use cogs, but most of the time it's hand interact with in whatever way. So yeah, I don't know. And aside from the one thing where I picked up the beaker at long distance, yeah, no real bugs to speak of. Fun, touch, charm, touch heart, as I have already said. Yeah, it's a delightful little game. Onto my wish list you go. Yeah, and such charm and heart you have out there. Yeah, whether you were here live and in person or later on the VOD, the fact that you were here for any amount of this means that I appreciate you. You're amazing. Never let anybody tell you anything different. You were amazing. You are amazing. You will remain amazing. I appreciate you. So, that's the end of demo day today, and although I have a bunch of other demos, I do not know when I will be back to those because so many things going on. Well, not so many things going on next week, but we've had new games come out, and we have old games that we're still playing through. So yeah, I don't know when we're going to be able to fit them in again. We'll find out. We'll find out at some point. But still, yeah. We will be back tomorrow, and tomorrow will be, as generally is, point and click Sunday. So we'll be doing something point and clicky or heavily story related because, I mean, Citizen Sleeper 2 isn't exactly point and clicky in that regard, but it's very heavily narrative related. So there we go. Be something like that. And yeah, it might be Citizen Sleeper 2 because I enjoyed the first one. So yeah. But that is a problem that you and I will face tomorrow if you come back here. And I hope that you do, because while I have been Richard, and this whole thing around us has been LMTDTMFFR, or say it with me now, limited time offer no vowels, without you, it is not anything. So you go out there, and you have fun, and, as always, of course, stay your amazing, unique, inimitable brand of weird.